fur.
Hi.
Hi.
I need to leave for set.
You do need to leave for set.
Probably like now. Probably like 2 minutes ago now. It's been a while since I've been in this thing. We're taking this thing down because like people were talking about moving to public transit or Ubers or whatever, and I'm just like, it's a little too late for this to be considering this at like 11 o'clock, as cheap as the L is. So I still kind of need to drive down, especially because I have a lot of stuff here. You can't tell off the bat, that's two bags worth of stuff plus breakable glasses that they had shipped to my house. So yeah, that's quite a bit of stuff. Anyway, today's mission in Pagliacci Day 3 is the first part of the nightclub scene. Or, well, both nightclub scenes. First and last scenes of the movie are nightclub scenes, 1 and 7. So, between today and tomorrow, we're going to be trying to film the entire thing. So, it's going to be a very, very difficult day. Probably and it's also going to be one of the oddest days I've ever had on set. So, today is without actors. Or, no, excuse me. I'm filming without actors, dumbass. Today is with extras. Tomorrow is without extras. Extras being, since we're in a bar, there's going to be people, sitting in the seats watching the comedy show. So we have extras today. We do not have extras tomorrow. So the big thing kind of revolves around that. And I've been explaining a little bit of this in some of the previous vlogs in terms of like the more, technical stuff with the whole Nomad scare. But, so that's a thing, is that we're just going to have to deal with that. Which is going to mean that today, because it's the only day we have the extras, and we have a fairly tight time limit imposed on us by the nightclub itself. Or it's an Irish pub, technically. It's a nightclub in the story, but an Irish pub in real life. We have to be out of there by 4, and we can get there, I think, at like 10 or something like that. So that's only a little while, and that might sound like a long time to people who aren't working in film. That is not a long time. That is not a lot of time at all, especially when you're trying to do more professional things. Like, yes, I know Robert Cobb was shot in like 2 quarter of a days, but yeah, that's not a long time for most core real production things. So that's kind of why today is such a big issue. So we've got a lot to do in a very little amount of time. Also, and what makes it really odd is just the fact that even though Liz and I did manage to get, thanks to Dewey and Sam and everybody else who kind of helped out on that one, we did manage to get the Nomad, but I don't really think that invalidates the idea of doing multi-mixer, just because it would be kind of really, really nice to, wow, it is cold in here. Is heat not on at all? It is not. Hold on, one moment while I fix that. Okay, that's a little bit better. Now it's going to actually start getting somewhat warm in here. Where was I? Yeah, so even though we have the Nomad for today, I don't think it actually invalidates the need for 2 mixers, just because it really can mean, especially because today is really going to be a lot of wides, being that, where we have the extras, and it's the only day we have the extras, because tomorrow we get to go in close on a lot of the things. So especially while we're on wides, we can run 2 mixers pretty much no problem. So even though Liz and I are pretty much the only 2 sound people, because this is on a real set, this would be like a 4 or 5 person sound mix, I think. Because you would probably have at least 2 mixers, probably 1 boom up and 1 cable guy. But Liz and I, for what we're doing with the 2 of us, are going to make it work somehow. Which is why there's so many bags, because I have a ton of mics. We have 2 crates full of stuff yesterday that we got during the equipment pickup. It's nuts. This is honestly the most nuts sound thing I've ever done. And I'm really, really excited for it. Probably for the wrong reasons, but who cares? It's fine. So yeah, we're basically going to have 1 person miking the room and 1 person focusing on what's happening on stage. And I think what we're going to do is, for the most part, I'm going to give Liz the green light, and assuming Liz is on mixing the audience. or I mean, I could do it too. And then like that person will have a green light, so that yes, they'll film during the takes, but they'll also be filming like more afterwards and before, and all that other stuff. So really, it's just gonna kind of be us. I mean, I don't want to say exactly freeballing it because that's what we do anyway, but for sure, we're gonna have to be playing it by ear in both ways because we're sound. That's just what happens. So yeah, I am really looking forward to it. It's going to be a really, really interesting day, especially, I mean, tomorrow might be a little more normal from a perspective of there won't be extras there won't be audience members, so it'll probably be a little bit more core stuff, but there's going to be problems along the way. Let's not fool ourselves otherwise, but for the most part, I told Tristan yesterday, because we had a small meeting as well after the equipment pickup, that, you know, we just really needed time to get set up, and we need the other departments to stay out of our way for the most part. Because that's really just what we need to happen. We need to get there, and we need to set up, and we're probably going to be working basically the entire time, either in gathering sounds or whatever. But for the most part, we need to rock and roll, and we need to be good. So yeah. What we're doing today is kind of important. I mean, also, this is the most important role in our scene, or important, kind of, one of the most important scenes, because it's, I mean, the opening and the closing. So, it's important. It's very important. One thing I told Tristan as well, that I've been telling him for quite some time, is that really when it comes to what we're doing with the audience, we want to make the audience basically directed to the point where they're almost like the collective audience is almost like another actor, just because that's kind of important and kind of crucial, the way that's going. Because if you don't have the audience getting the performance you want, you're going to not be getting the feel that you want. Which is why it's kind of very, very important for us to be getting what we need to get. Also, with this fourth lane here, I'm not sure which lane I actually need to be in to go downtown. Now, this is going to be fun. Because it used to be the third lane. Or it used to be, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so that's today. That is today indeed. I know there's probably going to be like zero vlog footage on the set, just because if we have any time at all, it's really going to be spent towards the sound stuff, or, you know, at least trying to keep it alive. Because that's another thing as well, is that because of this, there's, like, normally what would happen on a set is that, like, because we're kind of the last minute, like, sound being the last minute, because everybody else really needs to get set up before we can do our job, so it's just kind of like, you know, whenever they go to change the scene or flip the world, as it's called, where they kind of, you know, stop shooting from one angle and have to go relight everything so they can shoot from the other, we usually get a small break then that we can go in and, you know, eat a snack or something just to kind of keep it alive. That's not happening today. There are no world flips, and it's because our time constraints are so tight like that. We're basically not going to stop filming, which is a health hazard a little bit. So it's kind of important that everybody at least keeps hydrated, if absolutely nothing else. That's just kind of crucial and important. There is nobody ahead of this guy. But you know what? I think I've rambled on long enough, because we're like, I don't want to say halfway there. We're decently there already. So let's get down there. Let's get down to business. Let's go film some shit. Shall we? Let's go. Oh, we are here. We are trying to set up now. But there's a lot of construction noise happening outside, to say the very least.
A lot is very delicate.
Yeah. 3 letters right now that are going through my mind: A, D, and R.
Sweet. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Michael? What's up? I don't think you've been on the vlog in a while. Probably not since LA. Have you?
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been. How are things going on set today, Michael?
Well enough.
Well enough.
You've not killed anyone yet.
You don't typically just one day alive.
Then you kill it.
See, because Liz, if I died on set, she would bring me back to life just to kill me again.
And then if I died on set, then Tanya would bring me back to life just to kill me.
If I died on set, I would somewhere.
I'd run away.
Mainly just because I don't want anyone to bring me back to life. Just like, no.
I'd die somewhere.
Like a few minutes.
No, I don't need to see anything. I will leave my
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I will die somewhere else so that I cannot be brought back to life. You have to wait 3 days.
You can only handle the Devo so long. I have no Devo. I'm more Devo than Diva. That was pretty good.
When you take into account the dismal, things, dismal American psychological system,
Yeah.
it probably is a fantastic idea.
You're on stage.
Currently, we're being recorded by Paul Dano. Say hello, Paul Dano.
Nope, just
I should be. You know how hard it is to heckle? It's really tough looking at you people watching me and then not even clapping. I have daddy issues. You don't know. I'm up here pouring my guts out because my father didn't love me. Only one of you clapped and filled that hole that I have in my heart. There you go. That hole's got small.
Click, 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 click. Okay. Yeah, great. That's a great opening to this. Absolutely wonderful. I'm a genius, aren't I? Anyway, welcome back to An Idiot in the Car Rants vlog, the 783rd edition, I think. Regardless, yeah, welcome to the day. Even though you've been here for, I don't know, probably like 15-20 minutes at this point, yeah, it's time for me to head home, because that is just what I would like to do at this point in time. So I just finished. We have wrapped on the set for the day. It was a okay time. It was very, very busy. I'm tired, and I would like something to eat at some point soon. But regardless, let us head home. Actually, I should go this way. That's an easier way to go out and about. Go up, back across, you cross. Yay, it's you cross again. Because yeah, taking the Spring Garden entrance is usually fairly significantly better. Just a little bit. Yeah. So set is done for the day. We are wrapped on today because it is 5:25 in the afternoon. We had to leave, so we are now out. Cards has been passed on to DIT, and I am ready to head home. I am ready for some food. It is a long day. I would just like to do things that are like relaxing for a while, even though I probably don't have time to do that. I might just do them anyway. That might just have to happen. I left most of my gear there. Really, the only things I brought back are my headphones, because that's really the one thing I want, and that's kind of the nice thing about having another bag that I can just kind of unload and put everything in. So really, everything is just going to be there, and I just really need to bring my headphones for tomorrow's set and whatever camera, or the vlog camera, not whatever camera. I don't have the option to choose that anymore. Rip original vlog camera. You will be missed. I still do like the idea of getting another smaller vlog camera that I can kind of keep in my pocket that's a little bit lighter. As much as I really, really love the picture quality in this, sometimes it's nice to have the alternate as an option. It's just kind of a nice option. Though, it is kind of a nice hurrah that kind of the last thing it served to film was MagFest. I think that's kind of a good final farewell to the original vlog camera. Anyway, why am I ranting about things that happened several weeks ago? I should be ranting about things that are happening today. But I don't care for the moment. We're gonna go home because I'm tired and I'm tired of talking and I just want to kind of listen to music for a little while. Because that might be a good idea. Well, after being back for several hours, and as you can see, it is fairly dark outside, as I promised in the car, I did absolutely nothing today. Or well, at least with the rest of today, because it's been so hectic. The arm I'm holding the vlog camera with now is actually a little bit sore, not too bad, but yeah. Regardless, tomorrow is day 4 of Pagliacci. I got my call sheet, which is a 9:30 breakfast, 10 a.m. call. That means we need to get out tomorrow morning fairly early. I'm probably just going to wind up taking the 9:18 train in, getting there at hopefully right before 10, and if not, I'll just take it down to the location because I can do that because it's not that far from Market East if I just stay on the R7. So, without further ado, I'm just going to get to that because it's time for us to go to bed. It's late. Set tomorrow. More set.